Hello and welcome to part 4 of our hip hinge deadlift movement pattern series. My name is Morgan. I'm a master instructor with Stick Mobility, and today we are going through 4 movements that will challenge your single leg deadlift movement pattern by rotating and moving the torso on that single leg, and we'll be playing with shifts of weight and rotation of the spine in your hip hinge. We'll be using our 2 long sticks for today's session, and we'll get started right away in our single leg deadlift hip hinge pattern. So I want you to watch first before we go into this movement, because once you're in the single leg deadlift, it's going to be hard to figure out what we're doing and watch me at the same time. So I just want to show you from your single leg deadlift, we are going to turn the body on top of this supporting leg. So you are going to turn your eyes and your head first. Remember, less is more. So I'm looking 2 feet beyond the left stick, and then I'm going to turn my body to where my head is facing. That means the leg is rotating and my torso is rotating, and I'm trying to stay in this T shape. All right, so I'm gonna walk you through it, but that's what we're gonna be doing on this supporting leg, just so you're not blindsided. So start in this tall standing position, feet 2 inches apart, and then reach those sticks out at 11 and 1 o'clock. Hold those sticks at sternum height and drive into the floor at 50% tension. Feel the body waking up. We want those lats engaged. We want the abdominals to start pulling that rib cage down and the feet rooting into the floor. Keep that tension as you lift the left leg up in front of you, and once you're solidly on that right leg, go ahead and find your single leg deadlift. So the left leg is going to reach up and back. Sticks reach forward in opposition to that. Make sure that the rib cage is not too flared. Keep pushing the sticks into the floor. Make sure this back hip is not externally rotated. Rotate that left hip down and reach through that left heel so the toes point towards the floor. Now let's start this airplane movement. You're going to look under the left arm, 2 feet from that left stick, and now try to turn your body very slowly, very small movement, and try to hold that position. Keep a slight bend in that right knee, and you might start to feel the glutes, the outer part of the glutes on that right leg start to engage. Now try to look back to the floor with the head. Let the body follow into your single leg deadlift. If you need to get out of this movement, go ahead and get out and come right back in. We're going to go 2 more reps. So if that distance felt good for you, you're going to look a little further this time under that left arm. Rotate the body on that right leg. Make sure that the right knee doesn't fall in. So by pushing that right knee out, we'll feel the outer part of those right glutes. And then look back down to the floor and let the body follow. And then again, if you need to come out, go ahead and come out, reset. But we're going to go 1 more time, this time the furthest rotation ever. So look under that left arm, try to take it just a little bit further. Keep that T shape of the body. Try not to come up too high. Feel that right foot working really hard to hold this position. Look back to the floor, let the body follow, and come on up. Oh, okay, let's switch sides. So we are changing our body position on top of your hip hinge. So the bottom leg is going to remain still while your body moves on top of that. So we are practicing disassociation from that supporting leg, which is really great for rotational movements like throwing or swinging. Anything that you do that requires power in your hip hinge, but also rotation out of it. So let's do the other side. Tall standing, sticks at 11 and 1. Drive into the floor at 50% and lift that lift the right leg off the floor. And then go ahead up and back into your hip hinge. So you know you're going to be here for a while. Make sure that this base position is super solid. And then once it is, look under the right arm 2 feet outside of that right stick as you turn the body. And hold. Try to breathe in this position. Check in with that right leg. Make sure that you're still reaching through the right heel. And then you're going to look back to the floor and let the body follow. Reset if you need. And then let's do that again, this time rotating a little bit further. So looking under that right arm, let the body follow, turning the toes to the side, push the left knee out and back, away from the direction that you're turning. Hold that position and look back to the floor into your hip hinge. And let's go one more time, furthest rotation yet, looking under and rotating the body. Hold. Keep pushing that left knee open. Feel the foot working really hard to balance your body in this awkward position. And then slowly look back down to the floor. Back to your single leg deadlift. And come back up. Okay. So now that our supporting feet and ankles are nice and warmed up, we're going to rotate the body on top of your single leg deadlift in a different way. So we will stand in a tall standing position once again. And then, I'll go this side. We're going to reach the left stick towards 12 o'clock and the right stick towards 2 o'clock, right? So I'm basically taking this 11 in one position and just boop, rotating it to the right. Same exact setup to start. So I'm going to drive those sticks into the floor with my torso slightly rotated in between those two sticks, basically towards 1 o'clock. Now you're going to lift the left leg up, making sure that you're nice and solid on that right foot. And then you're going to go into your hip hinge, but you are going to go in the direction that your chest is already facing. So I'm going to go into my hip hinge with my torso at 1 o'clock, and my leg is going to reach in opposition towards 7 o'clock. So what that does to the supporting leg is that it pulls your knee off center, and we are rotating on that supporting leg. Now in this position, it's also important to keep this back hip rotated down. So we still want that internal rotation of the back leg. We're going to hold this position. Try not to let the foot rotate and lift off the floor. Try to keep that foot firmly planted. And then slowly come back up. Now, if that felt really good, you can move the left stick towards 1 o'clock and the right stick towards 3 o'clock. And then your body will rotate to 2 o'clock and your leg will go towards 8 o'clock, right? Let's go a little more tension with this rep. We're going to increase to 60% as you reach the torso in between those two sticks, wherever they are, and then the leg in opposition to that. Hold that position. Let that right supporting leg rotate on top of that foot. And keep pressing down into the floor to come back up. And let's do one more rep. Just like our airplane, this is really great for rotational movements like throwing and swinging. So if you're a golfer, or if you play pickleball, or if you play recreational sports or professional sports of any kind, this is really great for that torque producing lower body movement. Now, on this last rep, see if you can turn your body without moving the sticks another inch or so to the right. And slowly come on up and rest. Okay, these are very advanced movements. So these might take a lot of practice. Just come back and keep trying, and eventually you'll get much, much smoother with it. So now let's go with the standing on the left leg. Right stick is going to be at 12. Left stick is going to be at 10. Drive those sticks into the floor at 50% tension and lift that right leg up. Once you're on the left leg nice and solid, let's go to our hip hinge with the body going towards 11 o'clock and your leg going towards 5 o'clock. We're going to hold that position. Again, focusing on that back leg, rotating that hip under. Now you're really going to feel the outside of that supporting hip working, which is exactly correct. And slowly come on up. Now see if you can go a little bit further with the right stick at 11, the left stick at 9. And now the body's going to go towards 10 and that leg towards 4. Hold that position. Keep that left knee soft. You want to make sure you can breathe here. And come on up. Now let's see if we can go with one more rep. Let that knee rotate away from the toes, creating that rotation in the entire supporting leg. The ankle is rotating, the knee is rotating the shin, the hip is rotating that thigh bone. Now exhale and see if you could push a little bit further into this rotation, just 1 more inch with the body and the leg. And then come back center. And rest. Nice job. Those are our 2 most difficult movements of the day. We're going to move into some active stretching by shifting the weight and rotating the spine on top of your hip hinge. So we'll go against a wall. This is very similar to the slap shot we did in our last video. So we'll be in a wide stance with the heels about 6 inches away from the wall. And now you're going to place the bottom of the stick on the inside of the right foot. Now, when we did our slap shot, we were actively placing the stick across the body. So when we get into our ninja flow, we are actively going to have to reach across to that stick. So if this is too far for you to reach, you can place the stick a little further inside of the foot or towards the center of your body. So from this position, you're going to hold the stick in the right hand at about eye level or a little bit higher. And then you're going to reach your hips back to the wall. We're going to use that wall for feedback again as we're in this shallow hip hinge. Knees are slightly bent. The left arm is just going to hang straight down. Now you're going to reach the left arm across the body towards that stick. Grab onto it with the thumb pointing down. But as you rotate, don't let the hips come away from the wall. Okay, so if they do, then you might need to move the bottom of that stick in just slightly. Once you grab onto that stick and you've got some rotation of the spine, the hips are flat against the wall, you're going to pull the stick apart. So I'm pulling up with the right hand, pushing down with the left at 40%. Then you're going to shift to the left. Keep those hips on the wall. Pull the top of the stick towards the left side of your body and look up towards the ceiling. Hold this position. And then shift back to the right. Reset, pull that stick apart again at 40% and shift to the left. Rotating that spine, shifting the weight in that hip hinge. And shift back to the right. And let's go one more time. Pull that stick apart, shifting to the left. Keep those hips in contact with the wall. 3, 2, 1. Shift back to the left and slowly reverse that movement to come on out of it. All right. Take a breath and let's switch sides. Now the stick is going to go on the inside of the left foot. Hold with the left hand right at eye level or a little bit higher. Sink those hips back towards the wall and let that right arm hang straight down. Without shifting away from the wall, rotate and reach across the body. We're going to drive down into the floor with that right hand, up with the left at 40% tension, and then take that rotation to the right. Bend that right knee. Straighten that left knee, hold this rotation, keep pulling that stick apart. And then take it to the left. Now let's reset that tension, pull apart again and shift back to the right. Hold. Three, 2, 1, shift back to the left. Keep breathing. Pull that stick apart one more time. Keep the hips in contact with the wall. As you rotate, exhale, turning that chest towards the stick and up towards the ceiling. 3, 2, 1, and towards the left. We'll slowly come on out of it. And let's just cool the body down with a Jefferson curl or a roll down and roll up. So we're going to grab the stick behind your back with the palms facing back, just a little wider than the hips. So we're going to practice almost like a Jefferson curl movement, which is a hip hinge, but the spine is round. So we want to train the mid and lower back to be able to flex in this position. We don't always have to keep that spine perfectly straight, even as we're hip hinging. So as we go down, we're going to push the stick together at 40%. You're going to pull your chin up and in towards your neck, round the upper back first, and then continue rounding the back, pushing that stick together. Now, as you go into this movement, the knees are going to stay straight. Keep that stick sliding down the back of the legs as far as you can, and keep that compression of the body. So keep pushing the stick together, keep rounding that spine. And then once you reach the bottom, hold for a few seconds. And now slowly roll back up. This time, pull the stick apart at 40% and reverse that roll down movement. Trying to scoop the tailbone underneath you as soon as possible. And rolling up through the rest of the body. Let's do 2 more just like that. Push that stick in at 40%. Slowly roll down from the top. Keep compressing at the bottom. And pull that stick apart to reverse that movement, rolling up. And let's do that one more time. Push in on that stick, curl the chin up and in, rolling down. And pull that stick apart to slowly roll back up. And release that tension. Beautiful work. Come back and try this 4-part series anytime you'd like. We did get through some advanced movements, some really difficult movements. So these can always use some practice, and I hope to see you in the next series.